All right, let's go over it. This is going to be the mega split shot build with the shadow clones that you're going to be able to basically generate. So if you like to hit for very big damage numbers, you can see that like when we hit, by the way, we will hit for a pretty big amount of damage. You can see there's like 10 mil tick over there. And then our minions are doing about a third of the damage also. So they do facilitate a good portion of the damage, and you can actually bypass and get even more of these little shadow clones that will mimic your split shot, which will also grant all the bonuses. So let's go over the build guide. I'm going to explain the skills from left to right, and then I'll go over in depth all of the gear that you kind of want to try to acquire this same result. So this is when I just finished the campaign and I went to the max hell difficulty. So you can go straight from finishing the game to the maximum hell difficulty, which is hell 10 at the start. So as far as it goes, we are going to be running split shot, but you're noticing it does not actually do the split shot, and it's because we're going to converge into one mega shot. So what it does is every additional projectile gives you a massive multiplier for the skill. And then in the next category, what I have is one of the giant minions. This skill honestly could be totally swapped out, but it does activate as basically a meat shield, so to speak. So if you want to swap that character out, you can definitely swap them out. But when you level it up, it also gives you flat life, so it's pretty nice to have as well, giving you basically a percentage as you level it up. And then one of the most important things is basically these little shadow clones that we are spawning in with what I have bound to Y. And then that is going to activate split shot again. So our minions will actually cast the split shot as well, and they receive all of the bonuses from the relics as well. So this is a huge DPS boost here. And then the last two skills with the little hands over here, you can activate them if you want, but I maxed them out so it has a lot of cooldown on them, as in the cooldown is going to make it so it is increased as you level it up. But basically the little purple hands, that is going to grant us additional critical strike chance as well as crit damage when we activate it. So you can activate that one whenever you want, really. And then the ones with the green hands, that's going to give us some regen. So it facilitates the ability to basically not need to run life leech. But if you do run life leech, that is a great option as well. But it was a very smooth process from leveling from, of course, like level 1 and of course Act 1 going into the hell difficulties. I would say this build scales insanely well. This build is crazy because of some of the stuff that you're able to throw into the build to really min-max as far as the damage goes. But ideally, when you get some of the cards in terms of like the roguelite elements, you want to try to make sure you maximize split shot over anything, as well as just getting any sort of damage for split shot. Even if it makes it cost more mana, your minions can also cast it and they don't cost any mana. So it's really good to try to get as much split shot damage as you possibly can. And that's how you're going to get into like the 10 million plus DPS. I haven't even fully min-maxes. I could definitely see this being the strongest build in terms of numbers in the game. As, I mean, the number scaling is crazy. We're talking near 200x per additional projectile. Once you actually get towards endgame. And I'll show you guys all the gear and stuff now that I kind of explained kind of how the skills actually work.
Honey, can you help with the dishes?
Hell no, my boy Sladra just dropped a new vid, and I'm gonna watch it and smash that like button kappa. Try hard 7 in the chat, boys.
So let's go over the skills, Reliquary, the bell, and then the constellations. So for starters, we max out all of the skills in this build. So we run split shot, we run summon brute, summon the guard, prayer vengeance, and then prayer of health. So we run all of these, we level them up all to max. Now, as far as the Reliquary, because this is actually one of the most important things for this build. So we want to get as many projectiles as possible. We also get a massive amount of evasion. You can only get up to 75 evasion, so anything past that, it doesn't really matter. But this also gave us physical damage, and the whole build is based off of specifically physical damage with these two in mind for the damage. So just most of the yellow ones are always going to be stat sticks, but I got a couple that have split shot to deal more damage but cost more mana. This is just for extra HP here. That doesn't really matter. Skill projectile amount. So what you want to get, you can get summon damage. Skill projectile amount is the most important stat, though, as a priority, because every single one with stolen weapons, though, this gives us so our guards actually use split shot. I'll go over the yellow ones first, because these ones are just number sticks. They're not really like super important, but the unique ones are going to be more important to mention, because how it works is the guards use the split shot. So that's why we play this. This other one is just for extra HP, and it's actually quite nice for distraction. But this over here makes it so your guards actually do the same attack you do, which is split shot. Now, it only shoots out one with the thing called blunderbuss, and you want to max this one out because it gives you 230% damage for each extra projectile that you get, and you can get tons of projectiles. There's even a mod that you can get to get an additional projectile, and the damage goes crazy per projectile. Again, it's 231 multiplied by the projectile amount. And then we run Spearhead, so this way you can actually have clear speed. Otherwise, it kind of feels slow. And then in every single build going forward, I'm going to always play Bundle of Rope plus Lasso because it's like the most OP thing ever, especially on bosses that spawn in like ads. And then also, Silver Bullets is okay. It's not really super important for the build. But I'd say the things that are 100% important, this is going to be on every single build, I think, in the game. But Stolen Weapons, Blunderbuss, and Spearhead. These are the things, the 3 uniques to get the build up and running. This is from Act 1. This is Act 1/2. And then this one is, I got it actually as a purchase from like Act 1, like during Act 1. So I would say, I think you can get all of these early on, but it might be RNG. And then as far as the bell goes, I went and got the skill points. So skill points, and then the extra reliquary size, and then marksman damage, or you can get summon damage. It doesn't really matter too much. And then I got this base crit over here, but there's not really anything important. I mean, it's just every single build is going to get reliquary size, and every single build is going to get the skill points. And then for the constellations, there isn't really anything super far that I got. I actually have 16 extra points right now because I just finished this. But this is what I went and got. So in the very beginning, we get this one over here, so we can get these little like orbs. So these little agility orbs give us movement speed and attack speed, so you get to go faster. Then we max out this one, Oxosi, and then we get extra damage per agility orb, and then split shot fires an additional projectile per agility orb. So this is how you get crazy amounts of damage in this build. It's like super, super OP. And then, yeah, this one over here, Marksman deals more damage to enemies that aren't close, so be far away and you get more damage. And then I got max agility orb. The rest of the stuff does not matter. I got 1 point into this because I wanted the extra like resistances, but as far as that goes, that's what I actually put in. And later we'll look at the other options here, but yeah, pretty good build indeed so far. Now, last thing I actually didn't go over is the gear. So as far as the gear goes, you want to get skill projectile amount. This is actually pretty important. For the rings here, it's just like base damage, crit chance. You want as much physical damage reduction as you could possibly get. This is what I'm running over here for the character. You can see it doesn't show that we have a lot of physical res, but there's this over here that gives you plus ranks per physical res. You could also get pretty good amount on like pants if you get lucky and you have to get them, but I was not res capped with physical res. But there's also a node that you can get on the Constellation that can make you take physical damage as fire conversion. There's like one that gives you, yeah, right here. Physical damage taken as fire. If you want to grab that, that can help out. But eventually, I think I'll just end up maxing out all the resistances. But that's the build. And that's going to basically wrap up the build. And if you're using this to kind of level up, like here's kind of where I'm still kind of getting my damage to ramp up. It takes a while to get these multipliers to go crazy, but once you start getting more and more projectiles, it starts scaling higher and higher. This is why this build is really good. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, subscribe, turn the bell if you guys want to see more action RPG content, and I'll catch you gamers in the next video. Peace out.